Oh my god, she's a weirdo.
Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow. Now I'm going to be doing commentary on both Foodie's last live and Amber's alleged farewell YouTube speech because it's precious. But before I do that, I want to explain the law behind what is going on currently with content creators that are portraying harmful behaviours around eating, the excessive eating or the lack of eating. So I'm going to get a bit glowy now because I'm going to be reading from my screen, and thank you very, very much to the commenter who pointed me in the direction of this particular lawsuit and its subsequent repercussions. Various social media platforms such as TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook are being sued under the claim that they are harmful for teen mental health. The biggest argument is their apps and programs are designed to be addictive. Endless scrolling, likes, notifications, all things that keep teens hooked and exposed to potentially harmful content. One of the major concerns of these platforms is the unrealistic body standards and the depiction of maladaptive eating behaviours that is prevalent throughout their algorithms. Historically, courts have been able to protect these companies under the law called Section 230, which says that they are not responsible for what other users post. So I just hold the platform for this content. I'm not responsible for what people put on it. And that protected channels such as YouTube. However, that has changed. Now there's a litigation, a legal idea that is called the public liability theory, which says each company, each platform should share the blame on the content that is uploaded. Fine, you didn't create the content, you didn't post the content, but you're hosting it regardless. And this is what's got social media platforms running scared. Prior, they could say, it's not my content, I'm just hosting it. But now, it's literally, it may not be your content, but you are hosting it, which is kicking their asses currently. If this public liability theory lawsuits succeed, obviously it's going to lead to safer platforms, better content moderation, and real accountability. And while they could be protected under Section 230, which says they're not responsible for other people's posts, this new liability theory is gaining grounds and basically says these platforms should share the blame. If this is successful, it could lead to safer apps and protection for younger users. Now, the basic gist of all of this content is to protect younger users. I could not find any suggestion currently that if you posted this kind of content, but your channel, your entire channel was age restricted, that maybe things would be a bit more lenient towards you or not. I just can't find evidence of that being the case currently. I'm not suggesting you can save your channel by age restricting it. I haven't seen any evidence that it would protect you if the majority of your content was of this nature. But anywho, let's get on to, the main stuff. Per use, the Looney Tubes is my destination of choice. The AmberlynnReid stuff will be from Apathetic Facts. So, before we even start, it's very obvious Foodie is stoned. And a lot could be said about, if you are stoned, don't insult your viewers by coming online. Don't bother doing it. It's better not to produce content at all than to come on and show how obviously you disrespect and have no regard for your viewers whatsoever. You are testing your supporters' patience, and from what you can see on social media, it's wearing very, very thin, Foodie.
No, I hurt my back so bad. I don't know why.
I hurt my back so bad, yet she's rocking back and forward while she's doing that. Speaking of somebody who has a chronic back issue, any movement, side to side, forward to back, up or down, to or throw, will elicit pain. You've already discredited yourself just by moving. And yes, it's an excuse you have used multiple times before with your sciatica. You retired it for quite a long while, and then it got changed with stomach aches and something. And I guess you've realised the stomach ache thing has, lost its usefulness because you are a stomach ache because of what you eat. Of course you have stomach ache. Nobody takes that seriously anymore. So now it's backache, because backache means, oh no, I can't go out and make content, even though I had no intention of making content at all. How wonderfully convenient, Foodie. Yes, you're a lying liar who lies. Badly.
I did do it. I can't even go to the bathroom. Well, I do go, but...
I've said this multiple times, but when Foodie makes a statement and then immediately corrects herself, the first statement is true. She can't go to the bathroom. Bad back or not, I think it's being so stoned off your fucking head you can't be bothered to get off the sofa. So all I can say is I fucking hope she's wearing diapers.
So I got some back and body pain, Aleve, and some cream.
Because waving medication at your supporters is evidence that you are in pain. No, it's evidence that you have painkillers. That's it. It doesn't prove anything.
Life.
And if your backache was that bad, you'd go to a doctor, or you'd call a doctor. But you don't have health care, do you? No. But the way you're sitting, which would involve the curvature of the spine because you're propped up, you're not laying flat, you're also on your side, strongly indicates to me there's nothing wrong with your back. You are suffering from a lazy bone disorder.
Brand cream. I bent over, I think it was yesterday at some point, and I heard a crack.
Just because you heard a crack doesn't mean it caused pain. I hear what can only be described as something very similar to Rice Krispies every time I walk upstairs because of my knees. Just saying. You're such a bullshitter, Foodie.
Crack, I heard like a crack. I don't have my open back yet. No. I don't know if it was a crack or a pop. I don't know.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Foodie, you're not even trying with your lies. Do you really, legitimately not think you could lose your channel? I know you have some minions that are die-hard supporters that will support you regardless of what you do, for which I'm going to say it's a very good indication of what they're prepared to put up with in real life with their personal relationships. For which I say, have a bit of self-esteem, you guys. Just a bit.
Cringe. Voltaren? I know. It hurt. Ugh. So I'm just relaxing because...
You always just relax. It doesn't need a because, it doesn't need a but. You're always relaxing.
It's like right in my lower back. Hurts really bad to stand up. Keeping the cat and Pete's. I didn't know I owned Pete's. Be afraid of death, yeah. I don't want to die. There's like these little blackheads that are like around my mouth. Sometimes they, can we buy a new pot and keep it blue? I didn't fall. Oh hi. Oh hi is good. Yeah. No. I didn't go anywhere. I might only go out once a week. I don't know. I don't really care.
Once a week if you're lucky. Maybe because she actually wants to see the groceries in the grocery store. Although the scooters don't carry her weight for long enough, so I doubt we'll even get that. You're not getting any outside content at all, apart from Christmas dinner, possibly. Yeah, maybe Christmas dinner with family. If somebody comes and picks her up, of course. She wouldn't get there under her own, steam. And then her travelling back to Syria, or attempting to travel back to Syria, roughly around the 28th of December. You watch.
No. I haven't been stopped in public lately. Tell us about your love life. I don't have one, so. So yeah, I hope these pills work for my back, frig. Handsomest man.
If that singing isn't coded in some way, shape or form, I don't know what is. She says she has no love life, but her eyes suggest she believes differently. So Salah, around payday, is keeping her sweet. There's also some argument on the internet that she's suddenly got a bad back because maybe Salah has suggested she gets her health in order and loses some weight and builds up stamina before he'll accept her back into his life. When she's been asked to do physical stuff, she suddenly gets a physical problem in order to avoid such things.
Handsomest man. That's a song I cannot sing to another single man on the planet. I've had people send me cameos. Can you sing Handsomest Man? Nope. Yeah, they're all sweet at the beginning. Well, you'd be surprised. You got ghosted. Might have to just sing second Handsomest Man. Wouldn't trust a man to run a bath. I am going on an adventure where only it talks to you when you want to send money. Obviously, you're being used. Yeah, Wanda, I got
She didn't exactly say no to that, though, did she?
your email. I'm not interested, thank you. I don't even know you. Museum. It's not, my Wanda. She wants the cat. I don't even know you, dude.
So she didn't say no because she doesn't want to give away the cat. She said no because she doesn't know the person involved. Interesting.
Why are people so weird? Just wanted to try to help. Thank you for letting me know. I do still think you should look into. No problem. Yeah, that was a fake one. He looks so much better. Really? Thanks, Virginia.
What? That's got to be trolling, surely.
I don't feel it. I feel like crappy. I feel crapola. I just feel perma-fried at this point. The kitten's pretty much always around me. Sweetheart! I feel like crap all day, that's why.
The kitten has literally nobody else.
I can't pick a name. I miss Julia. Baby! Or BBJ. Did you see all the... I'm sure you saw all the family drama. BBJ's been deceased a long time. In my eyes. Whatever.
That's an awful attitude to have towards a pet you had for a long time. They were dead to her the moment she was stolen. You just didn't care, did you? You actually didn't care.
He went to the hospital. I know I'm boring these days, guys, huh? Just take some time off of thinking of stupid men. Yeah, I'm not thinking of them. Thanks for the super chat. Had all that.
When she said, I'm not thinking of them, she raised her eyebrow like that, which means she's thinking about one of them. She's not the subtlest colour in the crayon box, is she? She's like neon yellow. That really obnoxious neon green thing was very popular in the 80s.
Say about your family, look at hers. Insanity. Seriously. Mentally, I feel crappy right now. I'll probably just save for a car. I don't know, honestly. I didn't have therapy yet. Yeah, I miss Salah and Julia right now. Tasted both worlds. What do you want now with life? A life with or without Salah? No, I don't know. I really don't know what I want. I mean, I'm okay. I'm not depressed. Like, depressed right now. I'm bummed out because of my back. And I want to get in shape. If I'm going to suffer, I may as well make...
Yeah, Salah says she has to get in shape before he'll take her back. And she goes, yes, of course, Habibi. And then suddenly, oh no, my back hurts. She's so predictable. He knows the things he's asking her she can't actually do. So eventually he's going to say, this just isn't working and it's your fault because you're a failure. He's actually smarter than he portrayed himself.
Get for worthwhile. You want to go to the museum? Makes me sad going to things like that because it reminds me of Kuwait. Are you feeling down again?
Oh my God. Look, the dog's shat on the floor. That reminds me of Salah. Oh, look at this tiny carrot. That reminds me of Salah. Oh, look, there's a Hardee's. That reminds me of Kuwait. You're not a teenage girl. Actually, you would consider yourself lucky if you had the mentality of a teenage girl. You're far, far, far more regressed than that.
Yeah. Give me just one moment, okay, my darlings?
No. And I'm not going to watch the rest of this because it's just the devolution of Foodie as she succumbs to taking even more gummies. And who wants to watch that shit? So, let's see what Amber did yesterday. Now I'm going to start from the very, very beginning of this because there's some clips, I don't know if it's a normal intro or not, that very prudently placed. So well done, apathetic
I
facts.
do have a fear of losing viewers because of success. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I'm afraid I'll be dead.
Then do something.
Do I choose health or do I choose money?
Girl, I, as a person, am nowhere near as bad as hater nation.
And I say that with my chest, literally with my chest. I did not create this community at all. It's fat phobia.
Hey girls, welp, it looks like it may be the end of an era.
Literally every era of my life I've been in, whenever someone cooks spaghetti, they always have Texas toast. Like, it's just a given. Y'all remember my pickled baby corn era, don't you? So I have been in my like soft food era, extremely soft food ever since getting my...
These aren't eras. Eras are things that lasted significant years. And the only era you really had or have is various relationship eras. This era, whether it still involves Emily or not, is your last. And I've yet to name it. If I think of something during this, I'll pop in.
Tooth removed. Since it's spring now, I spend a lot more time outside.
It's the flagrantly arrogant, narcissistic, you can't touch me era, which doesn't have much of a ring to it. So, ostrich era, the head in the sand era, the assuming you're above everything era. It's victim Lynn era, except that's gone on since day dot. Victim Lynn was victim Lynn since the day she was born. Anyway.
In the spring and in the summer, we're back on the sunglasses on top of the head era.
Amber has finally come on live stream and admitted defeat. She's admitted YouTube demonetized her, and that just last night, they denied her appeal. She came on today to say her dramatic goodbyes.
So basically, what Amber has displayed and what is categorically going to kill her channel, not the demonetization, because she could continue to make content for these 3 months without getting money for it. That's the issue. And change the direction of her channel and remove all the stuff that's in violation, and her supporters would still be there when she goes back in 3 months' time. But no, this woman doesn't make content for free. She doesn't care about her supporters at all. She cares about the money. She doesn't care. Her appearances are transactional. No money, no Amber. And this is basically her saying that to her supporters. So if she decides to come back, which she will, nobody's going to be there, Amber. You didn't lose your channel, you just lost the money on your channel temporarily if you were prepared to make the effort. This performance killed your channel. This.
Someone said 6'7". Oh God, I can't with that. I'm just waiting for more people to come in. How are you guys doing though? I'm feeling a little nervous.
I'm kind of pretending that I'm not bothered about this at all, which is what every other live prior to this was. What I saw on those lives, with the stammering and the quickly switching topics and all the nonsense, is somebody who was panicking, absolutely panicking. Well, you play with fire.
I really don't want to cry in this live stream, but you know what? I might. I've been having people tell me, like, you know, be transparent. So it's hard for me to be transparent on YouTube. that's been very...
Just watch the eye movement. She doesn't believe currently what she's saying at all, and there are signs of duper's delight. She is happy that she feels that she tricked people into thinking her online portrayal of herself was a character, let's say, and not actually her. She thinks she's smarter than everybody. Speaking of which, the more I record, the more I realise how chronically I mispronounce words. Somewhat like Amber, but not really. My mispronunciation of things, which has become more evident as I go along, when things are less scripted or just more responses that are off the top of my head, the worse my pronunciation gets. And my inability to pronounce 25% of the English language is actually a verbal manifestation of my dyslexia. It's just how my brain does shit. So, in the majority of circumstances, I would argue that somebody who mispronounces words frequently, it's not an indication of a lack of intelligence. However, when it comes to Amber, it's either performative or possibly is, in my opinion.
Obvious for me for a very long time that immediately when I turn on a camera or...
Absolutely none of this screams authenticity at all. She is not making eye contact at all. Or she's reading notes, kind of. But it doesn't look like she's reading anything.
I go live stream or whatever it may be, I kind of like turn into this robotic version of myself.
If that's a robotic version of yourself, which suggests it's kind of muted, oh my God, I'd hate to meet you in real life. Sorry, I'm adjusting my legs. I'd hate to meet you in real life anyway, to be fair, based on your online presence. But if that's the robotic version of you, no.
And it comes natural. Genuinely, it comes...
If it comes natural, it's not robotic. Just saying.
It's natural. I instantly know exactly what it's not even that I know exactly, it's just my body knows exactly how to act because...
You know what I'm going to say. This is all complete and utter bullshit. Let's just assume I think it's bullshit and watch it in bigger chunks, shall we?
Because I have such a wall up. Say you have a friendship, say you are in a relationship, say you are, it's a cousin, it's an uncle, it doesn't matter. There's a coworker, there's someone in your life that used to bring you joy, but then every time you were around them, they would nitpick the way you spoke, what you looked like. You weren't crying enough, you were crying too much. You weren't eating enough, you're eating too much. You're not supposed to be doing that.
You've known this about YouTube and the online community surrounding Girl World for a decade. It's just convenient that now you are not getting paid for it. You've decided it's not good for your mentals. I love convenient stuff. Convenient stuff is convenient, isn't it? Sorry, I'm sitting awfully and it's a bit ouchy.
Actually, every traumatic thing that you tell me is actually a lie. Oh, you're fat. Oh, you're gross. Oh, you don't shower. Oh, you're... Eventually, the way you are around them is not going to be how you once were. I've had a lot of people say that I'm not the same person I was.
Because at first, you muted yourself and you tried to portray yourself as a softly spoken person, and as you got more comfortable and more popular, you showed your authentic self, and your authentic self made money predominantly because you were disliked. So yeah, you're not the person you pretended to be in the beginning, is what they're actually saying.
When I first started YouTube, and that's the truth, I can handle a lot. I can handle a lot. A lot of people are like,
no, you fucking can't. No, you fucking can't. And I would argue, if you think your life is a bit rough, you have absolutely no idea. And again, she is smiling ever so slightly throughout this whole thing, which makes me think this goodbye YouTube, you'll never find another AmberlynnReid thing is staged, because she's going to make a comeback when she changes her mind and realises how much her supporters mean to her. Probably about a month before the demonetisation thing is due to be reviewed. So we're looking at the very end of January. Yes, that's my prediction.
Amberlynn, you wouldn't be able to join the LCU because all the hate you get.
Amberlynn, you wouldn't be able to join the LCU because you are not mentally quick enough to barter with other people. You are unable to respond quickly enough to comments. You cannot spar with other people. You lack the intellectual ability. Now, I'm not saying you have to be intelligent to be on it. I'm just saying, in terms of the abilities you do need to be on it, you're even below that. You're not clever enough, you're not quick enough, your humour isn't good enough, because you're not actually funny, you're not smart. You would be dreadful, and it would take about 3 appearances before Keemstar realised you were a complete and absolute dud.
I would get less hate there than I would here. I know I have support. I know there are people who genuinely care.
But even that isn't enough for me to make content, because if I don't get paid, I'm not fucking doing it.
Who genuinely like me, who genuinely see me for...
Oh, we see you, and we see you for what you actually are. You don't see you for what you actually are, and that's the problem.
Who I am, I know that, but reaction channels have created a environment, a safe space.
Now, all this is to say it's Reaction Channel's fault she's been demonetised, and nothing to do with the various laws and litigations I mentioned at the beginning. Mass reporting from individuals who have chosen to do so would not result in your demonetisation if the content you made wasn't in violation of said TOSs. You can't be put in jail for a crime you didn't commit if other people en masse told the police you committed it. Do you understand what I mean, love? If you weren't actually in violation, it wouldn't matter who reported your channel. Absolutely wouldn't matter. And had you not, gone against the TOS, your appeal would have been reversed, because that would have been reviewed by actual human beings, not bots. But an actual human being found you in violation of the TOSs. So there is no one to blame for this but you and a change in the law.
A community to literally breed and feed off of hating me. And this has led to a lot of bad things in my life. A lot.
She genuinely believes the crap stuff in her life is because of individuals like myself and other reaction channels and the people who watch those reaction channels. We're probably to blame for Emily doing what Emily does. It's got nothing to do with Emily being, somewhat of a shit person too and doing things to out you. It's to do with the reaction channels Emily spoke to. She legitimately thinks it's our fault.
Genuinely. And I have gotten through it every single time.
No, you haven't gotten through it every single time. You just persevered because of the money. And now the money's gone, you're not prepared to stick it out.
I was able to get through it. I always told myself that no matter what happens, I can get through it.
Until I stop getting paid, guys. Until I stop getting paid.
And I was right. I always did.
Fuck
I
off.
put myself through all of this because it was my job. It was my passion. I love YouTube.
I love the money I make from YouTube. I love the fact that in the last decade and a bit I have made over $1 million. And yet 3 months I'm not getting paid, and I haven't even been able to last a month on what I've got saved. Think about it. $1 million plus. And the second you go for a month without getting money, because I'm assuming she didn't get paid this month for what she made last month because of these violations. So she didn't get a paycheck in the last few days, unlike the majority of us who do YouTube and get paid. So one paycheck, you're one paycheck away from not being able to support yourself at all, and yet you've earned over $1 million. Let that sink in.
I love making content. I love talking to you guys.
I love making fucking money. And even if I say I love talking to you and I love making content. I'm not going to do it unless I get paid. So fuck off, everybody.
Talking. I don't know if it's, I just like to hear myself talk. I don't know what it is. Like, why is anyone on YouTube?
Because if I don't get what is going on in my brain out, it kind of gets a bit nutty in here. I started my channel for one reason and one reason only. I'd watched enough of Amberlynnreid's reactions, other people's reactions to Amberlynnreid, and I sat there and I thought, but nobody's talking about her psychology. What about her, her narcissistic personality disorder? What about this personality disorder? What about that? Nobody was talking about her actual psychology from a psychological point of view. And I had an itch in my ADHD brain that would not go away. So I actually started the channel to literally comment on Amber in terms of psychology and her psychology, so that the itch in my brain would go away. Bit odd, I know, but if you have ADHD, you will understand the itch in your brain and the fact that if you want the itch to go away, you're going to have to fucking do the thing. And that was it. I then considered it a bit of a hobby, a creative outlet, in a different way from all my other creative outlets, of which there are many, which again has to do with my ADHD brain. And now I do it because I want to do it for the people who like to watch my stuff. I get paid comparatively peanuts for this, and I am very grateful for the peanuts I get, but without the peanuts I still get to eat, if you can understand the analogy. What I'm saying is, if I was demonetized tomorrow, I'd legitimately, hand on heart, still continue to make content. It's an outlet for myself as much as it is something I do for other people who like my content. It's not always all about the money.
We enjoy this type of job. We enjoy talking about ourselves, whether it's narcissistic or whatever it may be. Or maybe it's just a little girl inside of me.
Whenever she is being criticised or persecuted, she brings up the little girl inside of her. Every fucking time, as if she's the only person who had a shit childhood. No.
No one ever listened to me as a kid, as a teenager. And then finally thousands of people wanted to listen to me.
And they still fucking do, but you're not going to do it if you don't get paid.
Like, whatever your reason is for watching me, you've watched me.
You love me. You really do love me. Or you hate me. You really do hate me, because any attention is attention for this particular attention hole.
I've been on YouTube for 13 years. 13.
Unlucky for some.
And I have had some major ebbs and flows on YouTube, for sure. And I've tried my very hardest to share my journey, but do it the right way. I have not uploaded an actual video in like half of a year.
Now she's going to say she shouldn't be demonetised or penalised because the content she was penalised for hasn't occurred in the last year and that it's all history. The thing is, people watch your old stuff. So it doesn't matter when it was made, it's still there. Now she's going to go on about imagine you were driving a speed limit and the speed limit changes and then you retrospectively get penalised for driving the old speed limit even though you're following the new speed limit, which incidentally is the example garlic bread put forward. So she's been watching other reaction channels. Now, the thing about the law is you can't turn around and say, I murdered that person 20 years ago. I haven't murdered anybody since, so you can't penalise me now because the murdered person has stayed murdered. And regardless of when you made the content, you have still made it accessible to everybody. Had you removed the content, you wouldn't be in the situation you're in now.
I've done just live streams. I have not talked about EDs. I have not really talked about my weight. I have not done anything like that. That's what my channel was for the longest time, though. It was genuinely...
It's still up, though. It's still up. And that's the issue, regardless of what you've been doing for the last fucking year. Amber, think. Seriously, think.
all of that type of stuff.
You didn't bother to bury the body. You didn't hide the evidence. You didn't destroy the evidence. You left the evidence all around and just went on with your life, and then are surprised you got caught.
But that was years ago. Mukbang, who is she? I haven't filmed one of those since I was with Feline.
It's still on your fucking channel. Now I'm going to skip a bit because I don't want this imagine you're driving blah 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 analogy. I don't know where I am now.
And my mom, they both offered to help pay for hobby. For some people it became a let's take Amberlynn down type of thing. And so I became demonetized. And
You became demonetized because your content historically is against terms of service, and despite the fact it was strongly suggested to you by YouTube itself that you removed it, you didn't. It has nothing to do with reaction channels and haters. Nothing at all. Victim Lynn.
appealed it, obviously. You had to send in a video under 5 minutes, and you had to like answer these.
I'd love to see the video. I would love to see her thought process in defending her channel due to this. She basically said it's other people who hate me, and that's why. Not because the material I've left up on my channel that is accessible to anybody.
Bullet point.
Oops. I am quick, like a tiger. More like quick, like a constipated elephant.
You know, this and that. I was scared, obviously. Who wouldn't be? This has been my source of income. It's why I have a roof over my head. It's how I'm able to take care of.
Even the most poverty-stricken of people care financially for their animals. So you can fuck off with that manipulative, emotionally blackmaily type of fucking language. Somebody on Twitter said they were worried about the pets. You saw that and thought, that is a good thing to say, isn't it? And suddenly, despite the fact she hasn't mentioned this before, and you know she's not good at keeping secrets about dramatic things in her life, suddenly, conveniently enough, Twinkie is having surgery on Friday. What a marvellous coincidence. Serendipitous, isn't it, Amber? Fuck off, you manipulative attention hole. You are so transparent, which is surprising given your size.
It's the reason why I have anything in my life.
Yeah, it is. And you fucked up. You defiantly decided you weren't going to follow the rules that were suggested to you months ago by the company that hosts your fucking platform.
Nothing. I genuinely had nothing. And now I have everything I need because of YouTube. I'm scared. I don't know anything different. Twinkie has surgery on Friday. And that is why you guys have randomly been hearing me say, I'm going to the vet. Because I am trying so fucking hard to figure out what is wrong with her. And thankfully it's now.
Yeah, you've always known it was a lump, a fatty lump. You've told us. You haven't been trying to figure out what was wrong. You told us what was wrong. It's a benign fatty lump. But now the story's conveniently changed because it just has. She's not going to fucking surgery.
Being taken care of. So I'm worried. Keep her in your thoughts, please, because it has been a lot. I'm just glad it's getting taken care of. But why I mention that, it's just random shit. Like, and I bought all the gifts already. I was supposed to do.
Now she's worried about Christmas. She says this later. I'm worried about Christmas. I wanted to make it a good Christmas for my grandma and my mum. Forgetting the fact she's mentioned she's already brought everything. So she could easily, make it a good Christmas for her grandma and her mum. She's got everything, according to her. Now, I'm not going to go on with this tripe. It's absolute bullshit. She's going to say her mum got into a fender bender and needs money for that. She's going to mention that she's going. That's it. No more AmberlynnReid. And she also has the nerve to say that you will never find another AmberlynnReid, as if, QLR doesn't exist. Just saying. Now, I have one more thing to say, and I've been debating about commenting on this beyond what I've actually said for a few days. And I've come to the decision that despite the fact I mentioned this person once, somewhat negatively, but I believe somewhat fairly, because I gave them the benefit of the doubt for the majority of stuff, I lost quite a significant considering I'm only a teeny channel, amount of viewers. And I've come to the decision that if speaking honestly and voicing my opinion is something that's going to cause me to lose viewers, I shouldn't be scared not to speak. That's not how life should be. So I'm going to say what I think. I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to tell you exactly what I believe, and consequences are consequences. I am not going to silence myself for fear of the reactions I would get when I legitimately think what I think has some validity. It's what the Americans call freedom of speech. It's not hate speech. It is observations and opinions. I don't claim any of these to be facts, but it is a thought I have been having for a few days that I was wary of expressing, but I've decided that's not who I am. If I see something that I think is wrong, if I have an opinion on something that differs from other people but I believe has validity, I'm going to say it. And what will be, will be. FFG, in my opinion, orchestrated the acquisition of BBJ not because she wanted to give the cat a better life, and not because she genuinely cared about BBJ. She's gone online many times saying how much she hates cats. She did it for 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only. So right at the very off start, things were off about this particular episode. And I'm not defending Foodie at all. Saying things against one person doesn't mean you favour the other person. My enemy of my enemy is not my friend. The enemy of my enemy is also my enemy in this case. But still, I digress. FFG orchestrated the acquisition of BBJ to one-up Foodie, to cause Foodie distress, or not distress, but to make her rage, because raging creates content for FFG. And she also acquired BBJ to make money. There was no saving a cat from a bad situation motivation behind this at all, and I believe that with all my heart. This was calculated to make Foodie rage, to have a talking point and something to hold over Foodie's head for all of perpetuality, or whatever the fucking word is, and to make money. No, she didn't ask directly for donations, but she fucking knew from all the time she's been on her channel she'd get donations. She never turned them down, though, after the death of BBJ. If you donate to a charity and the charity no longer exists, the charity refunds you and says, "I'm sorry, this charity no longer exists." Additionally, all those saying, but she donated 100K whatever to charities. It wasn't her fucking money, though, was it? It didn't come out of her fucking pocket. It was your money she donated. So no, she just passed your money along to charities. But she also kept more than that for herself. I don't understand how people can't see this, in the same way as I can't understand people still supporting people no matter how badly you are treated. I think it says a lot about what you'll accept as an individual in your real life. FFG is guilty by omission. She continued to accept donations even though she never asked for them fraudulently after they were given, without informing the individual that this particular individual, this cat, was no longer around to need money for. In fact, although she never outright said that BBJ was dead, she didn't exactly give the impression that she was at all during this time period. And the fact that FFG cannot definitively prove an actual date of death that disproves what's been said screams volumes, in my opinion. This BBJ acquisition and subsequent behaviour was calculated from the fucking start, and there was no charitable intentions behind it at all. I've said my piece. I'm not going to talk about this again. Thank you so much for your patience and your support. To those who support me, I am eternally grateful.